So one of the things that I find to be very interesting is that, you know, I always like to tell stories because you're going to think I'm like Evel Knievel or something here. But my first experience to regenerative medicine was in the late 90s, 1997. And I was on Osprey Avenue. I was just new to town, chiropractor, and car pulled out in front of me and I slammed into this car, okay? And I started to have pain in my lower back and it was shooting down my leg. So I went to the doctor, they did an MRI, and the doctor says, there's your problem. You got this big herniation and it's on the right, that correlates. So he sent me to a surgeon. I go to the surgeon said, yep, there's your problem. Put the MRI up. It wasn't digital back then, it was, you know, the film. And he says, you know, we're going to have to do surgery on this, but I want you to try everything you can until it gets really bad.
That's what I was told.
And so shortly after that, I met who's a dear friend of mine to this day. He's now retired. He was out of medical school and he had learned the technology of prolotherapy. And back then, he was using dextrose, which is a sugar. Yeah, and so it's a concentrated sugar, and it stimulates collagen, and you know, it stimulates healing, kind of like what we talked about in this, but it's, you know, it's different. So you're triggering an inflammatory reaction that's stimulating the growth factors and the stem cells and so forth. So this doctor said, let me take a look at your back, and I'm going to try, I think it's this ligament. And so he said he offered to do the prolotherapy, and he says there's lidocaine in the prolotherapy solution, and I'm going to inject this ligament, and if your pain goes away, that means that ligament is causing the pain and it's not your disc. That made a lot of sense to me. So I laid on the table and he injected this ligament, and the pain in my back and in my leg completely went away. And that was an aha moment for me. I realized that there's a problem in medicine. Everybody's just looking at this image. They're not treating the patient. So what we do with all of our spinal condition patients is we do a lidocaine challenge. So we take them and we evaluate in detail where their pain's coming from, and then we'll inject it with lidocaine to make sure that that's the area that needs to be treated. Now it might be the disc, and we can inject stem cells for the disc, but we also need to know, is it also the SI joint? Is there problems with the hip ligaments, the iliolumbar ligament, all the different areas that can cause pain in the area, because you don't want to just go to one spot because you see it on an MRI. You want to treat the patient. But ideally, the lidocaine challenge works best when someone comes in and says, it hurts when I do this. And then you evaluate it, and then you'll inject one area, you'll get them up, and they'll say, well, I'm 20% better, or I'm totally better. You know, if they're a little bit better, then you know you've got somewhere else that's got pain, and so you would move on to another area, and they would stand up, and you keep repeating that. For more information about these exciting regenerative therapies, you can find us at advancedrejuvenation.us. You can also contact us by phone at 941-330-8553 or email us at info@advancedrejuvenation.us. If you found the information on this video helpful, please like us and share us on Facebook. You just never know whose life you might touch. Well, thanks for joining us. And remember, if healing is possible, consider it to be within your reach. Bye for now.